What up? Peace to the motherfucking nine. Everybody, man, listen, squad. This is a guide, yeah, for the bedroom DJ, for the younger generation. I'm gonna do a series, yeah, an unsophisticated series. We're not in no studio. I've just turned my phone on and hit the fucking record button. Yeah. In this series, we're gonna cover a lot of topics, that I think are key and fundamental to up and coming DJs, like in it. So, no, a lot of the old heads, you'll already all know this, yeah. But like a lot of young DJs are still, learning the ropes and learning the roots, and it's not like the olden days, like in it, learning on techniques on turntables. Some might have grew up mixing vinyl, still in this day and age, innit, from the old generation. But a lot of them are using controllers and CDJs and Seratos and record boxes and all these type of like softwares and hardware controllers. You know what I mean? And everything's sort of like tailor made these days for ease of use, so you can kind of just jump straight into mixing. And it's all good, like hitting the auto sync and seeing the BPMs, so you can easily guide your tunes in, and then like learning to like basically keep them in beat from millimeters. Also editing grids and shit. Yeah, but we're not gonna go so advanced. We're just gonna be like, it's gonna be like a quite a caveman-y sort of guide, because we're not gonna talk about like there's a lot of things that I don't do that you don't need to do. Yeah, so we're gonna cut out a lot of shit as well to save time. So you don't have to edit every fucking beat grid. You don't have to do all that. Like, do you mean? You just need good cue points, and you need a good knowledge of the music. So lesson one is knowledge of the music. Yeah, your library. That's why today we're not even touching the decks. We're just going to talk about ethos, context, what drum and bass means to me, and what, like, the foundations that I learned or was influenced by to demonstrate to the younger generation. So basically, like, lesson one is library. What is a library? I mean, we're not talking no library of books. We're talking your music, your collection of songs that you will gather through your life. You will lose, corrupt, probably not back up, and have to regather. Yeah. So let's cover it then. So first thing is library. Yeah, your collection of songs is paramount. It's very vital that you learn your music. Now, back in the day, we had sort of an advantage over the digital era, because, like, going to a record shop, actually seeking out a vinyl and decide, like, listening to it in the shop, playing the vinyl in the shop, listening to it on the headphones, like these type of things don't exist no more. We go to Beatport, listen to it on Beatport. So it's sort of the same, but it's not. Like, feeling the vinyl and the physical copy, and it being worth more than the digital, it's worth more. So, vinyls used to cost £7, a digital song costs 50p to a pound. So you have to be very selective with what you bought. You have to be very, very quality controlled in what you selected. Yeah, because you had limited money back then, and unless you was wealthy, and you had limited box. Even if you was wealthy, it doesn't matter, because you had limited bag space. Do you know what I mean? And what I'm saying about bag space, guys, is this here. If we go underneath the doom, the boxes, the bags, the vinyl. That's what I'm talking about. So they forced DJs back then to be very selective with the tunes that they wanted to take and play. Yeah, where these days you can just get an abundance of tunes, 300, 400 tunes, slam them on a fucking on a USB, put them into your decks, and you're away, like, innit? don't really have to put much thought into what you actually got, what you're actually playing. And that's why at the beginning we talked about context and stuff like that. So, Libary. Back then, all these vinyls I got, I know, I'd say 80% of every vinyl I got, I know inside out. Probably more. I probably more because I've played them all for years. Do you mean I probably know every vinyl inside out? But there's some tunes I don't play as much as my other ones. Do you get me? But I still like. If I was to play my vinyl, you can't see the waves. I can read the vinyls, like you can see in the grooves where the break is, and you can just learn to read the waves of the vinyls or the grooves of the vinyls, so you know where your timing is. But we'll get to timing in that when we get to the decks. The point I'm getting at is every vinyl I got, I know inside out, and I have played for years. So taking them into the digital realm is just the same as I've played them for years. I know them inside out. So it's very vital and key that you learn your library, you know your songs inside out. The reason why I say that is because, when you're mixing your music, it's easier to know the song inside out because you'll know how it should sound in relative to anything that you're mixing it with. So, meaning, like, if it's just a melodic build up with just a bunch of, like, I don't know, like notes, like piano notes and synths and stuff, and there's no real hi hat or driving beat that you can nod along to. It's just a bunch of noise, like boom, 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 boom. Like, do you get me? There's no, so you can't follow along to the beat. The idea is to know the song inside out, to know how that melodic piece sounds without any percussion or drums over it. Do you know what I mean? And over time, your brain will start to understand, through mixing these tunes over and over and over again, over a plethora of loads of different other styles of songs, just how it should naturally sit and fit in the balance of the mix. Yeah. And you can, what you'll start to establish then is, once you start to learn your library and you start to know these songs and these artists and the little intricacies of the songs, meaning like the variations and the little bass drops and the little like amen rolls or whatever they're doing, like it helps you when you're chopping up the beat and your little fills and your little beta call and receives, because you'll start to understand, I can take this tune that does this bass line, and I know this tune already does this bass line. So for instance, like an example would be you could do, like, I don't know, there's so many different examples, but a good call and receive would be like, you could do Buck Rogers and Tommy Yoshi's Reach Out. They're both similar sounding tunes. One's a Zinc remix, one is one by Sidham or Firefox, and they're both similar bass lines. One goes boom, 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 boom. One goes boom, 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 boom. So what you could do is you can have it go boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. And that's how you get them to call and receive. That's just an example of using two similar bass lines. You can also take a gritty bass line and a mellow bass line, and that's where creativity comes into. That was probably a poor example, but I'm trying to roll it off, and I don't do no scripting. So, but the idea is with when you learn your library, you should know how any song in your library sounds over the plethora of other tunes. Meaning you should be able to take like Shy Effects Feelings, which is a classic vocal, and mix it over a bunch of minimal D&B, heavy rollers. You can mix it over Jump Up, you can mix it over Liquid, and you can mix it over the plethora. You can mix it with Jungle, and it will still sound good in the context of your mix. And you can take like I said, a plethora of tunes. It don't work with all tunes, but you can take a good sample size of tunes and know that, all right, this tune fits with like 70% of my library. 60% of my library. So whenever I draw for it, it don't matter whatever, even if I'm freestyling, whenever I draw for this tune, it will sit nicely in the context of whatever I was doing at the time. And that's how you learn your library and master it, because it's all through trial and error of constantly mixing these tunes together to find out what fits in your jigsaw puzzle. That's what your library is. Your library is just a broken jigsaw puzzle because you're constantly adding pieces to it, and you got to make it harmoniously fit all together, if you get me. And the only way you can do that is by having knowledge of your library. And yeah, so it's very important and key that you not just it's not just add these tunes, not just take 50 tunes that you found off SoundCloud, downloaded, whatever, bought off Beatport, pirated, whatever you've done to get these 50 tunes. Your friend sent you a folder, whatever, however you acquired these tunes, they were not part of your library. They're all new tunes. And it just so happens that out of all the 50, you liked all the 50. It wasn't then you quality controlled it, and you wasn't just stacking 50 into your thing. Or even if you did quality control it, for instance, and you ended up with 20 tunes. So you added 20 tunes or 50 tunes, either way, to your library. Like now, you got to figure out how these tunes sit in the context of your library. Not just go, all right, well, I've got 50 tunes, I've added them to my library. I'm not even going to bother like analyzing and really understanding what these tunes are, because I'm just going to go and get another 100 now, and then add them, and then go and get another 20 here and 50 here and 5 here, because you won't understand the context of your library. Do you mean? And it's all good adding new tunes and being excited and filling up your library and, you know, hunting down and digging in the crates and finding all good music. But like, to a lot of veteran DJs, we already got experience of having a lot of years and eras under our belts of knowing this music. To the newer DJ, like you still trying to like you know, understand like all the previous generations before the generation that you're in, and just the plethora of labels and work that's been put out there from the vinyl days to the digital days. So you got like a spoiled for choice in what even type of genre, like a subgenre, do I really want to be as a DJ? Do I want to mix heavy dance floor music? Do I want to mix deep rollers and heavy grimy rollers and minimal? Do I want to be a jump up DJ? Do you mean, do I want to be strictly liquid? Jungle, only jungle. So there's a lot of ways to look at it. My ethos is to be, I run this channel, so we try to be all rounded and play a bunch of everything for everybody. I figured that, to me personally, it's better to be an all-rounder than one-dimensional, yeah? So it's good to have many tricks up your sleeve, guys, do you know what I mean? And many ways to implement your creativeness. You can be more creative by having a wider palette of styles and genres under your belt, pretty much. Don't be scared to dabble in music, like the subgenres that you're not so familiar with and you're not so confident with. Have a go at mixing neuro, have a go at mixing jungle, have a go at mixing breakbeat, have a go at mixing these musics liquid. Try and do a full liquid set and see if you can punch out an hour, even if you don't like how it sounds. Like, because what you'll find is the more you test these skills and you do genres that you're not so confident or you're not so knowledgeable in, you'll figure out that there's different ways to mix this music. And then that will help you understand, okay, so maybe we don't mix liquid the same way I mix jump up with quick, fast transitions. I have to blend these melodic notes and intervals and things together to make it context and make it everything fit in context and construct of what you're doing. Do you mean? So like, you know, a bad example would be, you know, don't take a liquid tune and mix it with jump up. That's what someone would probably tell you. Don't mix liquid and jump up. Don't mix jungle and jump up. But you can do it. You can do it if you're not one dimensional and you can think outside the box and make two tunes work. Do you get me? Like the ethos of Mampy Swift, one of the most legendary DJs we got in this music. He's probably the best DJ that we got in this music from Charge Records. Salute to Mampy. He tries to make two songs sound like one big song. Yeah, double Mampy mix. That's what I see Free screams out when he mixes. So, like, what I'm trying to say is like the ethos is you can do big rolling doubles and try to make two big tunes sound like one tune harmoniously. That's what I'm talking about, blending, long blends, yeah, not just quick drops, single drop in, which is like, a tune will be playing and then you mix it and then you drop that one out and drop the next one in, like in it, quick drops. So, yeah, every music got like different ways and different styles of implementing how to mix it, like, do you get me? So, and it's fun, like testing your skills and mixing a bunch of music that you don't normally fuck with, in terms of like, I'm strictly jump up, I'm strictly rollers, or whatever you try. Like, you should always good to be outside the box. Don't ever be inside the box. Yeah, always be outside, always be searching, always be creative, always be pushing the boundaries. Yeah. So, try and find good obscure artists. Yeah, the underground. SoundCloud's a great place to build your library and find loads. There's so many artists, like unknown artists as well. Do you hear me? You'll find gems if you're willing to search deep enough in the vinyl, in the vinyls, in the crates. Yeah, context and constructs of mixing is like basically like, and it all forms into knowing your library. So basically, like, look, yeah, like I does it on my channel. Sometimes, like, I won't have and this is why I keep telling you, because over here I freestyle. I'll just take like 300 tunes and then I'll make a show, and I won't really listen to the music like as deep, like learning the library. But that's because I got nearly 30 years under my belt, and like I know, like, I've got enough like spatial awareness in my brain and jukebox like a nurse, yeah, because that's what you're gonna develop basically, is how to become a jukebox. That you just sort of know these artists' music inside out over the years, and then fucking you can just like, I don't know, you can just formulate freestyle sets because you just know how their music is, because you followed it for years. You just know. And it's weird, like, but then even then, sometimes like freestyling can bite you in the ass. Yeah, it can bite you in the ass because fucking, yeah, it can bite you in the ass. Yeah, sorry, my cat was going crazy. I didn't want to like fucking up the video. It can bite you in the ass, yeah, sometimes, because like you could be mixing and it could be all wicked, like sounding nice, and then you play a tune that you don't know what it is, and it could just fuck up the entire mix and like destroy the whole context and journey. Do you know what I mean? Now, there's no such thing, in my opinion, as a bad drum and bass tune. Yeah, there's no such thing as a bad drum and bass tune. Everything has its place. Yeah, like I say, I make bad drum and bass, but like I'm on about professional tunes. Like, everything's got its place. Like, do you know what I mean? Even my tunes got their place and they're bad. So, it's just when you go to the dance, you take your best. So it has to be like, you always got to do that and think that, like, in it, you bring your best tunes to the dance. Do you mean? And like, bringing your best tunes don't mean bring the hardest tunes, bring the heaviest tunes. It don't always mean that. It just means bring something unique to the dance that's out obscured and out the box. That's gonna grab the people's attention and resonate with the people and make them dance. Because that's the key thing, yeah, is danceability. You want the people dancing. You don't want to just go there and just play for you and try and smash it because you're playing these tunes at home and thinking, yo, these, like, do you know what I mean? The idea is to figure it out. If you're playing out live anyway, the idea is to figure it out, like, do you get me? What works, what don't work? How do I get the people moving? And like, if you're doing it from the bedroom standpoint, innit, we still got to have that ethos of what are we going to showcase to the people, do you know what I mean? If we ever do get the opportunity. And you can't just play for ourselves and be greedy, like, do you get me? So, by having a wide palette of styles, artists, subgenres. Um, yeah, I think you'll be a better DJ. Do you know what I mean? And like I said, like context and construct of the mixing, like the idea is to take them on a journey, to have tunes that ain't gonna break up the mix too bad and fuck up the flow, where you have to rebuild the mix now because that tune didn't sit in the construct of what you was trying to do. Do you know what I mean? And like it's hard to name tunes that do that, but like it's easy to, like, I don't know, you could play like, it's easy to, like, I don't know, it's just easy to break up the construct. I don't know, you're just like gonna have to experience that on the fly. As you find that when you're freestyling, you'll just mix two tunes and you'll be like, you should just know in your head, nah, this don't sound right, like this ain't correct, like, do you know what I mean? And like fucking, you know when it's like, like I said, it's like the idea is to be like have a diverse range, be try and be a selector for the people rather than a selector for ourselves. You know what I mean? Because the idea is to resonate and give music to the people and make them dance in whatever field you try to do. Do you know what I mean? Other things I want to talk about with Library, because we've been here for 20 minutes. And I'll probably watch this back and think of other better things to say, so I'll add them in. But everything's on a freestyle, so. But it's backup. Yeah? Back up your library. It's important, squad, that you you have a hard drive, you have a cloud, you have something where you keep a backup of all your tunes. Because, especially if you're young, I look at it like this, yeah. Within the current climate of the music right now, dub plates, dub culture, and releases. So is it music's more accessible right now to get these tunes right now? But in 10 years' time, these tunes that are accessible right now might not be as accessible, especially dub plates. So the idea is, if you do acquire dub plates or you do acquire these tunes, back them up, because if they ever corrupt, if you ever lose a fucking USB, hard drive fails, computer crashes, bugs out, whatever, you're gonna be sad. Do you know what I mean? Because you're gonna have to go back and start chasing all these tunes again, and you're not gonna be happy about it. So, and I've lost many libraries, yeah, and I've lost many dub plates that I can't find again, and I still think about them to this day. So, don't be like me. Back up everything, yeah. Even if you gotta buy a little fucking SD card, a USB or 128 USB from Amazon, get one and start loading it, and then keep it safe. Don't use it. Just keep it safe. That's one. That's two. Get a cloud, a fucking Google Drive, whatever. Just start backing up your music. It's important. Also, keep a good filing system. Don't just be like, oh, random dubs 1 and 2. I will sort this folder later. Don't be lazy. When your filing system's important. Yeah, I learned this from one of my friends from Europe. He told me, do it by artist. So it's long, but at the start it's long. But once you've got it, your system running, it's good. Every artist, but he also does dub plates, or like, SoundCloud releases, dub plates, and he just throws everything in the folders. Meaning, if the artist Dillinger makes a new tune, it goes in the Dillinger folder. If fucking Pengo makes a new tune, it goes in the Pengo folder. If fucking Zero T makes a new tune, it goes in the Zero T folder. That's how you do it. Now, if you want to split up your dub plates and your releases, that's on you. If everything just goes in one folder, that's the best thing to do. It's just to keep all your artists like that. Do you mean? And you can either chuck the tunes in their single or keep folders of the EPs you're collecting or the LPs, so you know everything's in order, prim and proper. Keep it structured, keep it smart, keep it clean, keep it organized. Yeah, and you'll just know if anybody, and then if one of the homie needs a tune, or I need a tune from Alex Perez, all right, cool, Alex Perez folder, boom, it's there, it's over. Do you get me? Rather than just like, fuck, I don't know where it is, I got it, but it's in the sea of chaos that I've created, or I started structurally and then 5 months down the road, I've got lazy when I'm collecting tunes and I'm like, right, I'll sort this out tomorrow. I'll sort this out next week. And you never get around to it because you're still collecting tunes. It gets messy. Do you mean DJs are sending you tunes? Your friends are sending you tunes. You're sending people tunes. It gets like it, guys. So you're always collecting. You're always digging in the crates as a bedroom DJ. And it's important to file your music. It's important to learn your music. It's important to file it and store it and back it up. Yeah, so the key things from this half hour, squad, but the key things from this is learn your library. It's the most important thing. Yeah, learn to count the music. The idea is, yeah, guys, if a song's playing, if Pendulum Another Planet's playing, if Pendulum Slam's playing, if Dillinger All the Things is playing, if Caliber Juicy Thing, Mr. Maverick, or whatever, any tune that's playing that I know inside out, I can leave the room, come back, and know where I am in the music. Is very important, and that's the whole point of it. Yeah, the moral of all of this is learn your library inside out to know where you are in the music at all times. It's paramount that you know where you are in the music at all times, because if you're very heavily structured in a set and you're doing doubles or triples or whatever, like you can't really miss your cues. You can't afford to miss your cues. In the vinyl days, you didn't really have time to chop down the vinyl and find your cue point. There was no digital cue point. You might be you got a bit more leeway. All right, cool, I missed this cue point, I can get the next one. But the idea is if you've set up the mix to have constructs from that cue point and you missed it, you fucked up your mix. You fucked up what you visually constructed in your brain for your set. Now you've had to chop it down and do something on the fly, and you've missed all your build up and your melodic blend because you had to chop it down. So, and that's because you didn't know where you was in the music and you missed your cue point. So it's vital that you learn your music, learn your songs, take them on, put them on your phone. Like this channel helps me, yeah, when I used to upload tunes a lot, to learn the music that I was uploading, like the songs that I didn't know so much. So I was uploading so much new releases every week. It helped me learn the music because I would listen to it back. So I'd listen to it about 10 times. Oh, I know this tune inside out now. Do you know what I mean? And you build up muscle memory over time. You don't have to listen to it 100 million times. Over time, you'll just understand the call and receive. You'll understand the fills and the breaks. You'll understand where you are in the music at all times, how long the intro is. You'll understand every bar, build up, breakdown. You'll just understand the music inside out. You could take a new tune, listen to it like 4 times and go, oh, I understand it's the song, because you've had muscle memory of learning so many. And that's what I say about being an all-rounder, because every tune's built different. Some songs are got different build-ups, fake drops. Do you mean there's a lot going on now with the music? So, and the old way, the old style music's made longer. It was longer build-ups. It was longer breakdowns. It was longer patterns in bass lines being played out. Like, do you hear me? Over the music constantly varying over every 16 and 16 bars. Like, do you hear me? Pretty much. So, like I said, it's not about like counting the bars. You don't need to count the bars. Yeah, at the start you will need to count the bars because you need to know where you are in the music. But when I say know where you are in the music at all times, I'm not about like leave the room and come back and go, oh, I'm on bar 70 of the music. No, just know where you are in the song. All right, cool. The break's coming up soon. Like, do you mean like soon could be 30 seconds, 40 seconds, but you already know, all right, cool, it's coming up. I can drop my record here and be on cue for my double here, or be on cue for my mix here, or my fade out here to bring in the next song and transition. And we'll get to that when we get on the decks. We'll start breaking down the phases and phasing and how to get really technical with this shit. Do you get me? But it's very key that we learn our library, guys. Yeah, like That's if you take anything from this, what did you learn? Oh, Rebel said, learn it, learn your library. What does he mean by learn his library? It means learn my songs inside out. Don't just keep adding songs and not caring because you don't know what you really got. So yeah, learn your library, back it up, love the music, have fun being creative. Don't be scared to make mistakes and mix tunes that are out of key or that are deemed wrong. There is no wrong answers in music, or it's just creativity. Do you mean two tunes might naturally sound bad together? Okay, cool, but it was creative to put them together in the first place. To even have a go with seeing do these work, and that's where we find the obscure mixes, the obscure gems. That's what makes you stick out in the crowd like a sore thumb, make people look at you different because you're being different away from the crowd and you're sticking outside the box, being unique and trying things and creating things and not being scared to create. And that's the main thing. Promote creativity to the maximum. That's why all our legends are legends because they created the music that we love. They pushed boundaries. They didn't care about social norms and social pressures. And do you mean hip hop, Tupac, One Love? That's my that's my guide for beginner DJs on Libary. I think it was very paramount on the things we talked about. There was a few chops in the video because of my cat. She got zoomies. So sorry about that. But like I said, this is the unofficial guide, the unsophisticated guide to the bedroom DJ for the young youths. So yes, my young bloods. You know what I mean? If you're making the music as well, don't be scared. You know what I mean? Be fearless. Love your craft. You can do this. Do you mean? Think how Dillinger, think of all our legends. They were all shook at the start. They didn't know where this music was going to go. They've paved the way for you. Just being, remember, you're an ambassador to the drum and bass. You from bedroom DJs to the ravers to we're all one family, one nation, and each one teach one. This is me giving back to more from nearly 30 years. Look, this is where I came from. That's where I came from. 30 years. I've had these nearly 20. We touch the deck soon. Big up.